A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Ta-da! I'm living proof, baby. Miracles happen.
How about that?
You laugh, Alan, but Google's bailed me out of a lot of things. I'm telling you, I had muscle cramps. It said eat walnuts, almonds, and bananas. I've been eating them like crazy. No cramps. Who needs doctors when you got Google?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
That's just my opinion. Don't take that advice to the bank. Welcome to the RP Show, everybody. It is episode number 403.
I'm surprised we haven't had some health professional or nutritionist.
I know. They know that I'm not to be listened to. You understand that.
It's great advice.
There should be a disclaimer up at the start of every show. Don't listen to the host. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
RP here and Darren Moose DuPont there. And I have to point something out before we go any further. Two things. One, please go to the bottom of your screen and click share for all your Facebook friends. If you really love the show, we're not charging you to watch. If you could do us a favor, go down and click share or retweet on the Twitter, whatever you need to do. And two, Biz Nasty referred to you as my sidekick.
Yeah.
I think Rod Black has done similar. He's more than just a sidekick. He owns the show. I want to put that out for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Does it bother you that people think you're just the Ed McMahon, sorry?
No, it doesn't. I enjoy it. But you're right. It's the business side that I really love,
right.
Doing that stuff.
To the point of you thought of giving up this role.
Well, and that's kind of, it's nobody's noticed, but, as the interviews happen, I ask less questions. I'm just slowly, lengthening the rope until maybe I don't even have to sit here anymore.
I wouldn't like that.
I know you wouldn't.
Don McNeil writes in, good day from Central Ontario, home of the Bradford Carrot Festival. Put that on the list.
The chicken cherry races in Wynyard, the Bradford Carrot Festival.
And the Cornhole Championships in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Okay.
We'll go down there with Chris Jones.
We're going to do the State Fair tour.
Katie, maybe we'll play some football. Katie Fleury writes in, it's RP and DD. Perfect combo. I agree. Thank you. Okay, so coming up on the program today, longtime friend of mine, Stevie Baggs. I'm looking forward to that. The star of Season 3 of Cobra Kai. And I'll tell Stevie this, but I'm going to tell you this. We haven't got to his episode yet in Season 3, so it's late.
Me either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with my brother last night, the cowboy, who's probably watching right now. And he's like, how far into Yellowstone are you? And I said, Season 1, Episode 8. And he's like, well, you got a long ways to go then. And I said, good. I don't want to binge this thing.
Yeah.
I want Cobra Kai to stretch it out real good. Yellowstone, same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, Stevie Baggs, the former CFLer, NFLer, and also, he's not the star of Season 3 of Cobra Kai, but he makes a cameo. So he's going to be with us. Just one more from a viewer. Katie says, Rod, did you see the picture I shared to the page today? I did not. Did you see Katie's photo?
No.
I did not.
Oh, look.
Katie is a health professional here in the Queen City and a Golden Knights fan, but I did not see the photo, Katie. I apologize. But anyways, Jordan's fingers hovering over the Quick Six Show Topics button. So hit it, Jordan, please. Hit it. Thank you. So along with Stevie Baggs Jr. on the program, we've got Jermaine Franklin coming on the program today. TSN anchor, big-time friend, and a fan of the show from day one, big supporter of it. So that's coming up. So number one, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Number one, NHL Leftovers from Monday night. And I was thinking about this. We've got viewers all across the country, and as we all know, 31 states. So a quick rapid fire on all the teams. Where are we going to start? The Toronto Maple Leafs. What a letdown that game was. A 3-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets. Just in that it wasn't a good game. Did you see Ray Ferraro in the first intermission with Sarah Orleski?
Yeah.
She was like, what did you think of the first period, Ray? Not much. It just wasn't a good game. But the Leafs won. I said they're cocky in my tweet, and it sent Leaf fans like Clark over the edge. Have you not figured me out yet, Clark? I did it to get a rise out of you people. You people! And, it worked. He hasn't figured me out yet. 403 shows in. The Jets, disappointing. It was a disappointing showing last night. Tells you what Patrick Laine means to the team. I'm telling you, he's the best player on the team. He's the MVP. Give him what he wants. These are just my takes, so hang on. Ottawa didn't play last night, but they got the Jets tonight. So we're going to find out a lot about the Ottawa Senators tonight. The Montreal Canadiens won in Edmonton. I can't remember what the final was. It doesn't matter. What doesn't matter? You can't judge your team based on what they do against the Edmonton Oilers because everybody beats them. Vancouver humiliated the Oilers on opening night, and they thought they were something.
Yeah.
They haven't won since. So don't use the Edmonton Oilers as a barometer for how your team's doing. So Vancouver struggled with the Calgary Flames. Those teams already hate each other. You had Vancouver's number one. I had to remind you guys in the morning meeting, we're not even a week into the regular season. Okay? Not even a week. Now, there's a lot of overreaction out there, and that's cool. What are we learning? We're learning a lot, but we haven't concluded anything. Moving across the country, Flames looking good. Johnny Gaudreau is playing inspired hockey. The Flames look great. The Oilers, whatever the stage is, past panic, that's where they're at. They're bad. And it's brought up the poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center. The question is, will Conor McDavid ask for a trade? Yes, no, or the third option is, he should. That was Darren's idea. Wow, 60+% are saying no?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would think that the majority would lean towards he should. Yeah. I don't think he will. I really don't. But he probably he should if he wants to get out and win. It depends. At what point do you get frustrated? And it feels like more and more and more and more and more the younger the generation gets, right? The older we get, the shorter the fuse is for players, right? The quicker they'll get frustrated. They won't have as much of a leash. So I don't know. It's not good right now.
I wanted to put a little more time into it than just banging yes or no or the third option. And I haven't voted yet. I haven't decided. If I was him, I would want out. Viewer William May says, leave the Oilers alone, you big bully. Oh, I think the Oilers are big enough, boys. They can handle it. Joe Lazito, watching on Long Island, where the Islanders are 2-1 to start the season. He says, don't the Leafs always win the cup in the first month of the season? I know. Bring it, bring it, bring it. These guys need it. Dupes and Clark. Hey, but like I said yesterday, you guys got the Leafs covered in Eastern Canada. I got the West covered as far as I'm concerned with the Western teams. And then the Golden Knights. Can I just say this? They were down 2-0 late in the second period last night. Here's the difference between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers. If the Oilers are down 2-0 at any point in the first 40 minutes of the game, it's over. You can go home. Start the car, Martha. The Golden Knights, it's like, okay, when are they going to turn it on? And then they do, and they win. And that's not a very good indictment for the Edmonton Oilers, is it?
No, it's not.
You get down, and it's over.
Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in. You know, in Vegas, at least you know it's there, so there's always confidence you can come back. I mean, they outshot Arizona 13-5 in the third period, and between the end of the period and moving on, got all 4 goals. I mean, there's a team that if they put 60 minutes together are a scary hockey team in Vegas. They say the best team on paper they've ever had, so they continue to get better. Crazy.
Here's the thing, though, and I wanted to bring this up with Lawless yesterday. I didn't. But here's where the sucky place that the Golden Knights are in. And I've been there with the Rough Riders, not as much with the Pats. But when your goal is Stanley Cup or bust and you legitimately think you're going to win it, that 82-game runway or the 56-game runway just seems torturously long, right? It's like, what do we do? With 3-0, who cares? Because if we're not skating around with a cup at the end of it all, it's a failure. Right? You're just so impatient. You're not learning anything. You already know you're good.
Yeah.
What are they learning? That they need to play 60 minutes. Oh, duh. We know that. They know that, but they don't have to. And that's scary. When you're so good that you know you can just turn it on and win, that's scary.
It is scary. Yeah, it is.
Just because you get into, because when you do face adversity, then you panic.
Well, and now you're sitting there trying not to mess it up. So you're trying not to fail as opposed to trying to just keep putting the foot on the gas pedal. So you're sitting there, okay, well, if we're going to get there, got to make sure everybody's healthy, got to make sure these goaltenders are happy. So you're doing all these things throughout the season, and it's going to be a long year in Vegas for all the right reasons, but it's going to be a long year.
Trenton, Norway, do you fellows have the comment? Thanks for enlarging that for me. Norway calling. It's from Trent. I don't think McDavid will ask for a trade right now, but the Oilers must get a better supporting cast around him sooner than later. Line A will need the same thing with the Jets. If the Leafs ignore the media and their supporting cast comes around, maybe the parade plans are worth it. Stay well, everyone. Thank you, Trenton, Norway, with your 2 cents, where it is currently 5:10 p.m. Enjoy your lutefisk and krumkaka for supper, if that's how you say it. Incidentally, I can sit and talk about the NHL all day and night, just so you know. Tonight, point 2, Tuesday in the National Hockey League, there are 8 games. The highlight for me is Winnipeg at Ottawa. Your Leafs are off.
Yeah.
But I'm just enjoying my NHL center ice, just sitting there, bink, 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 going through the channels. Thank you, Access.
It is so awesome.
Yeah.
And
I never had it till this year.
I'll watch the game watch the Leafs game on the TV, and then I crawled into bed kind of early, but I got a little, one of the Google devices, a little screen, a hub on my nightstand. It's my alarm clock, but I can just from my phone send the game right there and watch. I watched the Flames and the Canucks a little bit, and a little bit of the Golden Knights as I kind of wound down, and then went to bed. Like, it is perfect that hockey's back.
It is deadly, Schmedley,
yes.
Said Fredley from Sedley. From Todd. Typical Edmonton, wrecking the careers of young players and not realizing what areas of the team they need to address to help the Stars become a dynasty team. 2 words, Jordan Eberle. How happy is he to be out of Edmonton? It's written all over his face. Moving on, point 3, Brady versus Rodgers. Rodgers versus Brady. NFC Championship game this weekend. You pointed it out yesterday. Green Bay is favored by 4. Do you expect that line to change over the week?
No, maybe to 3.5. but it won't really change significantly. I think that's pretty appropriate. So I think that it's all about it'll come down if too many bets come in on Tampa, and it becomes so disproportionate that everybody thinks that it's such a steal for Tampa. Then it'll come down a little bit, but it won't. I don't think. I think Green Bay. That's who I'm going to pick on the betting line. I like them. I do, but I don't like. It's supposed to be, again, snow, cold, but just below 0 Celsius and snow. So it's going to be picturesque. But let's not forget that this is Tampa coming into Lambeau. But Tom Brady's played his whole career in bad weather, his whole career in Boston, right, where it's cold and this type of weather. So that's not going to be a shock to him.
It might be a relief to get out of the heat.
Absolutely. So, and for Antonio Brown, those guys, he played in Pittsburgh. Like, it's not going to be a huge home field advantage for Green Bay, but it's going to be so much fun to watch. It will be. It'll be a lot of fun.
That's the first of a doubleheader on Sunday, the conference championship games. And I'm realizing I'm watching less NFL Network right now. Why is that? Oh, the NHL's back. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it tells you how these leagues fight for your attention. Again, not watching as much NFL Network. I used to have it on 24/7. Now I'm watching NHL Center Ice. Point 4, Patrick Mahomes' status for the AFC Championship game. They got the Bills. KC's favored by 3. That line will be affected mightily depending on Mahomes' status, but he's playing, right?
He should.
Do you think?
He'll play. He'll play. I think even if he is in concussion protocol, he can play after 5 days anyways to get back onto the field. But he seems to be okay. So I would think it would take something really crazy for him not to play.
This is the warm-up, by the way, for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons. Your home for the NFL. Stevie Baggs from Cobra Kai, NFL, CFL alum, joining us in Block 2. We still have time in this segment. I'm just mentioning the sponsor there. And Don McNeil in Central Ontario is watching. He says, no one gets used to playing in the cold ever. No advantage. I do agree with that, but he's a Houston Texans fan. And maybe we can put this to Stevie Baggs. My point here, I want yours. How about all these star players wanting out from where they are? Deshaun Watson, the latest with the Houston Texans. Like, it's gone so far that it looks like there's no way he can stay. So they're going to have to trade their cornerstone player because he's unhappy with the direction of the franchise. It's not new. Look at James Harden. Throws a fit, gets his trade, goes to the Brooklyn Nets, and now they're an NBA championship contender. Look at Leonard Fournette, Jalen Ramsey, who wanted out of Jacksonville. What about the 52 other guys that don't? At what point do we say, no, deal with it? You're already making millions. You're playing a game that you would play for free. Deal with it. Or do these players have a right? Look, I come from the old school. I talk about it with the people my age that have been through sports and media, and we're like, maybe we had it wrong, man. Putting up with all the crap. Putting up with crap from people that we don't respect or like because we know that they're wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The just deal with it crowd, which is us, we'll just put up with it. Maybe we're the idiots.
We call it integrity, right? And we call it, loyalty. But it's a changing world. It's all about who has the power now, right? And with social media and the world, the players have more of a voice than they've ever had. They have more power than they've ever had, right? And that's a good thing for the players, and I like it. And, the world is smaller than it's ever been, so traveling is so much easier. Trades are so much easier. Communicating. It used to be that you wouldn't know what was out there, right? I mean, if you weren't a GM or you weren't an agent, you had no impact on making trades or making moves, right? But now, you got players that are just communicating with each other, right? Communicating with other agents. Like the world is so much smaller and the communication so much easier that they can kind of pull the strings and know what strings need to be pulled, right? It used to be just for the business guys. Players have that power now. So it's a little bit wild, but hey, if he wants out, he wants out. Houston is doing some things to try and repair the relationship. Like it looks like they're going to hire Eric Bieniemy out of Kansas City, or they want to, which is the guy that Deshaun Watson wanted them to hire. But I don't know if it's beyond repair or not. It might be.
That's the whole topic of the tail wagging the dog, the inmates running the asylum. And Don in Central Ontario watching got me thinking about that. Nugsy says players are the brand, especially in football and basketball. Teams aren't the brand. That's the bottom line. Stone Cold said so. Colin in Ottawa says, Deshaun Watson's coming to my Jets. I'm so excited. We only won 2 games. He's not there yet, so you're going to get the speculation and so forth. I get it. But Stevie Baggs has just logged in, and he's going to join us after the break. And Stevie, here's my point. I want you to think about this in the break. What about the players wanting out? I just mentioned several of them. Deshaun Watson, James Harden, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Ramsey. Do they have a point, or should they be forced to knuckle under and put up with the conditions? We did that in my generation, but I'm starting to think maybe we're the idiots for putting up with this, right?
Yeah.
And point 5, should Charleston Hughes take a pay cut? Another topic, by the way, that's going to take more time than we have right now. And the Raptors won last night. They've won 3 in a row. We got to start getting used to these new guys. That's all that it is. You know that, right?
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard's gone. Serge Ibaka's gone. Who was the third?
Gasol.
Marc Gasol's gone. So Stanley, who is he?
I know.
Williams, I think. We just got to get used to these new guys. That's it. Stanley Johnson, thank you. Who are these guys in the Raptors jerseys? But they're starting to win again.
Yeah.
At least we won a championship.
Yeah.
Stevie Baggs joins us next, the star of Season 3 of Cobra Kai. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Hey.
I love it.
You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, now live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Clark was just saying that Stevie Baggs walked away, but he just came back. I'm just going to read his Wikipedia for a second. Stevie and I go back a long ways, but in case you don't know, you would know him from Season 3 of Cobra Kai. But look at this. NFL, CFL alum with the Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Blue Bombers, Eskimos, Rough Riders, Orlando Predators, Arizona Cardinals, Hamilton Tiger Cats, Baltimore Ravens, and Calgary Stampeders. I love that his Wikipedia starts off with, he's an actor, plus inspirational speaker, as we know, and author of books Greater Than the Game and Woke. So there he is, my man, Stevie Baggs, joining us today. He's a South Florida product. Where are you joining us from today, Stevie?
ATL, Atlanta.
Oh,
I am
yeah,
on
you've
the
been
Rod Pedersen Show.
You've been in the hub. You've been in the hub of the South for a while, right? Atlanta. You've been hanging your hat there for a while.
Yeah. Born and raised in South Florida, but I've been here since 2006.
Okay, so listen, I got something for you. I was so excited when I saw that you're on Cobra Kai. And Stevie and I, as I mentioned, we go back a long ways, 08 here in Saskatchewan. This is what I realized. For people that don't like you, Stevie, it's because they're jealous. You probably know that, but I think I know why. You're reasonably good looking, very talented, and a grinder, and a hard worker. NFL caliber talent, man. I mean, you're a survivor, and you're just grinding. And I love it. And life seems to be very good for you.
Well, Rod, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Always have been. But at the end of the day, I've learned that people's opinion of you is none of our business. The only thing that you can control is what you can control. And that's how hard you work. I say hard work because there's a difference between hard work and hard work. And that's the only thing you can control. And so, man, it's funny because I just had a conversation with Pinball the other day. Yeah. One of my mentees down here in Atlanta, they're looking to sign this guy, and I vouched for him. And it was just a tremendous conversation because I see the light that he brings, right? Everybody can see it. If you know Pinball, he's just this vibrant guy, bunch of energy. But the one thing that resonated with me that he said was that, Stevie, we have to continue to make our dash count. And that's the one thing that I'm very, very happy to be able to do is to transition from football, athletics, arts, entertainment, but more importantly, make my dash count by helping people change the way that they think, Rod. And you don't have to think like me. I just want you to think like me. I decided to think. That's what changed my life.
You think big, and like you say, but people talk noise. They talk noise about me. They talk noise about you. And once you realize it's just noise and it doesn't matter, that's when the fun begins. But let's be honest, Stevie, with you in 08 with the Riders, we've talked about this before. I got you on the post-game show from BC Place. The Riders lost, and you know what I'm going to say. You said the tears of our sorrow of today are the garden for our future of prosperity. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Can we get a translator down there? Nobody'd ever talked like that before, Stevie. So I just kind of think you're a little ahead of your time is what I think.
Well, I see some of the guys now and the moves that they're making. You talked about athletes, kind of changing the narrative, right? I think that that's true. Maybe I was ahead of my time. And I know that there's fans that loved me to life. Like they just connected with my energy and how I played and the community stuff. And then there was other fans that hated the fact that I celebrated and played with so much passion. So, at the end of the day, out of 100% of the people, Rod, 25% will love you, but they can be persuaded to hate you. 25% of the people will hate you, but can be persuaded to love you. 25% will hate you no matter what you do, and 25% will love you no matter what you do. But the moral of the story is that you can't please everyone. So I don't try to anymore.
Good. By the way, a longtime friend of yours, you've known him longer than I have. Jack Fulton's watching in Vulcan, Alberta, and he says, love Stevie Baggs. Great to watch Stevie. Great to watch Stevie continually growing into his calling. A great example to young players to have a game plan for life after football. Proud to have Stevie on the LCD USA Board of Directors. That's the Life Choice Dynamics.
I love Jack.
So when did you realize that football wasn't going to last forever and you better start getting a plan?
I'd say by the time I was in Winnipeg in 2006, and I had been on the practice squad, living in my Range Rover before the Sackos gave me a chance to board at their home. By that time, I had already been. The thing that Wikipedia left out is the NFL Europe. So Frankfurt Galaxy. So, I'd done Detroit Lions, then Frankfurt, then Jacksonville Jaguars, then, Winnipeg. And so at that point in time, I'm like, I I have to do something a little different. And when you're young, you think you're going to play forever. We hear that all the time. But at the end of the day, I just started trying to wrap my mind around what it is that you're going to be remembered for when you're done playing. Now, you want to be remembered to be a Hall of Famer or a champion or an all-star or what have you. But at the end of the day, most people are going to remember you for how you impacted their life. I just got a message the other day that blew my mind. Someone from Saskatchewan, I forgot who it was. I spoke somewhere in Saskatoon, and this young man, I took a picture with him. We had words. The parents were there, and it was just like the biggest thing. It was when I was something to be talked about in Saskatchewan, right? 09. And so from 09 to now, this young man and his family saw me on Cobra Kai. And it's like, thank you so much for doing what you did back then. We loved you then. We love you now. And so those are the things, Rod, that, really make you feel like what you do is meaningful, right? It has substance. So, that's what I can attribute. And those are the good things that you want to be remembered for.
That's the good thing about getting a little older, because it takes a while for those things to come around. You don't really necessarily see it at the time, right? But so we're all dying to hear about the Cobra Kai. Johnny Lawrence, how did it come to be?
So Rod, let me just first say this. I'm on a show right now where I'm a series regular. It's called Ruthless. It's a Tyler Perry show. It's really big. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's on Apple TV and BET Plus. All right, so folks, go check that out too. It's an amazing show called Ruthless. I had to plug that show. But I shot Cobra Kai in 2019. It just came out now. I have another TV show that I shot in 19 called The Underground Railroad. Barry Jenkins and Brad Pitt are the producers of that show. But once again, in television film, you can shoot something and it could come out in 2 or 3 years later. And I didn't even know when it was coming out. My manager calls me. She's like, Stevie, I think Cobra Kai is going to drop. And I'm like, okay. I didn't even recognize, to be honest, how big Cobra Kai was. I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, but I wasn't a Cobra Kai guy, right? And man, I've to be a series regular on a show and nobody really talk about it, and to have one small speaking role on Cobra Kai, and everybody's like, "Oh man, it's Cobra Kai," and I'm like, it was just funny, man, funny.
Well, some say if there is a force behind the pandemic, it might be Netflix. Because I wouldn't have watched Cobra Kai or Tiger King or any of these shows because I'm out doing stuff like you. But we can't. So I'm home streaming, and who comes across my screen but Stevie Baggs Jr. So good. I'm so proud of you, Stevie. By the way, you can tell me about Stevie Baggs Sr.? Because when you were playing here, tell me about Stevie Baggs Sr.
So, my dad, it's Pops, man. At the end of the day, he was a great athlete. But he got my mother pregnant when they were in high school. In his senior year, as opposed to him leaving to go, he had scholarship offers to go play. And as opposed to him leaving, he stayed and he worked, and him and my mom got married. And so, his football dream never came to fruition, but, mine did. And now, man, I have cousins that are one cousin that plays for the Giants, RJ McIntosh, and then another. He has two younger brothers, one at Washington State, Deion McIntosh, and then Kenny McIntosh plays for UGA. Kenny's named after my grandfather. And so, to have cousins, and I have a stepbrother that plays at University of Houston, and to be the first person in my whole family to even go to college, let alone get a chance to play pro football, and to now have everyone in their respective places kind of following that, that path is tremendous. And I have an opportunity to give them information that I didn't have. Because now, like you said, being older, you recognize that money is not power and education is not power, but information is power. And if you have good information, you have good power. But if you have bad information, you have bad power. And so for me to recognize that and to be able to impart that in someone else, whether they listen or not, I'll still plant the seed and hopefully, it manifests.
I've probably interviewed you 10, 12 times, and I'm just getting all my questions out now that I've never been able to ask you before. And one was about Stevie Baggs Sr. I wanted your take on players just wanting out. because it's not new, and you played in an era where players didn't speak up. If you did, bonk, or you're outright cut. So how do you feel about players that have a voice now and aren't putting up with the direction of a team if they're not happy?
Well, I got to say this. My dad, I speak to him every day to this day, man. So shout out to my pops. But as far as players speaking out and having more control over their direction or their career, I think it's something that, for me, I'm going to always be pro player because I'm a player, right? But I don't think the fans recognize that, this business is called that. It's a business. And so at the end of the day, and I think I mentioned this the last time I was on your show, sometimes a player can make a mistake and get caught up in going to get the money. Then other players can recognize, well, man, no, I need to go get paired with this team so that I can go win a championship, right? Kind of like what Harden is trying to do. He's trying to cement his legacy, because to be a great scorer and never be known to win a championship, that doesn't match with his legacy. But the prefix to contract is con, and we have to recognize that. And the contracts have always really been, especially in football, they're always one-sided for the team. And, you can cut a player and then he doesn't get any of that money in the contract. You can cut a coach, though, and the coach gets his money, depending on however long the contract was, or if they come up with a settlement or whatever. But the players don't get anything. And so I think a lot of the times fans don't recognize that. Like, if they got an opportunity to go work in Saskatchewan, but then they got a raise to go work in Calgary, well, they're going to go probably take that raise if it makes sense. Well, don't be upset at a player that does the same thing just because you love him as a player or you love your team. It's about him, his career, his business, and him making the right decision in his mind for his business.
Gotcha. Con, I like it. People are like furiously scribbling down all your wisdom here. They're saying it from Greg. From Greg Klevgard. Stevie has a great perspective on life. Love it. From Gary Lincoln in Winnipeg. So talented. Donna Berger writes in, Bags is a class act. From Blake Brown. Bro, you're still talked about. How's that make you feel?
No, it really makes you feel good, Rod. I mean, seriously, man. In football, you're only as good as your last play, not even your last game. And so for me, I left no stone unturned as far as how many teams, I played for, and I just kept going and kept trying to get back. But at the end of the day, like I said, people will remember how you impact their spirit, how you impact their soul, their inner man. And so to be able to impact someone's inner being is more important than, leading the league in sacks or getting a Grey Cup ring, in my opinion, because, although those memories are great, I think the most important memories are the ones that are on the inside, not the ones that, without.
Micah always watching, and he is a young linebacker with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He watches almost every day from Galveston, Texas. He says, I got to go look up highlights of Stevie. Learn from a great. How would you describe your spin move, Stevie? Like you were doing it before anybody else.
I think my pigeon toes helped me. The same reason why people didn't want to, give me an opportunity to get drafted high in the league, I guess, was the same thing that helped me, right? It helped with my quickness. But the spin move was something that I had always done since high school, right? Literally. And I didn't really, perfect it, in my opinion, until I got to the league in Canada, because I was able to work on being just strictly a pass rusher. Like when I was in the NFL, I was dropping back in coverage a lot and things of that nature. So when I was able to just be a straight down lineman and rush the passer, I was able to cultivate, my pass rushing skills, a little more, right, and make them more refined. But the spin move was fun, man. I mean, I used to love it because every old lineman, you think you're going to be a speed guy, speed, and then you kill them with the speed, and then you dip under, and it's the quarterback's right there, right? You're in that throwing lane, so it was always an easier path to the QB.
Well, you could tell those tackles knew it was coming, but they still couldn't stop it because they didn't know when, right? And they're just like try to get you. It was great. So, yeah, Michael, when you look up those highlights, not only will you see Stevie in that and his pigeon. You said it, I didn't. But the 09 Riders, I will say, might be the greatest Rough Rider team of all time, and they didn't win a Grey Cup. They should have. That was the 13th man. But just yourself and John Chick, obviously, Scott Schultz for half a year. The Canadian Air Force on offense, Darian in his prime, that might be the greatest Rough Rider team of all time. And not a lot of people argue about it, actually.
My heart still sinks, man. I mean, just thinking about, I remember when they missed the field goal, Rod, and I turned around and I dropped to my knees like, oh, we got a Grey Cup. Oh, my God. Like, oh, my God, Grey Cup. And then you see the handkerchiefs everywhere, and you're like, oh, my gosh. Like it was one of the most, people call it roller coaster emotion. And, I mean, oh, my gosh, bro. I still think about it to this day. Because to be on I played on 3 Grey Cup teams, and I lost all 3. KG got hurt when I was in Winnipeg. He went for the fumble, hit his arm. And then Calgary, we were favorites to win over Toronto, and Toronto just beat the brakes off of us that year. But then the one when I was really, I was a leader on that team. I was a main, person in that locker room to help contribute to those wins that we had throughout the year. And to kind of shut Anthony Cavillo down like we did and not come away with the win was demoralizing, to say the least.
A Rider fan had a heart attack on that C-Train platform across the street from McMahon. You know where it is, across Crowchild there. When I heard about that, I'm like, I'm not surprised. There was only one? I'm surprised.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
Exactly. I probably had one too, man. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Stevie, we're out of time, but it's always great to see your face and chat, and thanks for putting up with my jokes, and good luck with everything, man. I'm glad to see it's going so well.
Rod, one thing we have in common, it seems like we don't age, man. Keep drinking that same tonic you're drinking, brother. You're looking
It's something.
Good, man.
It's the universe. It's living right. It's living right. Thanks, Stevie.
I have melanin on my side, but I don't know. I mean, what's going
melanin.
on?
Send me some. All right, Stevie Baggs Jr. checking in from Hotlanta, Georgia, the hub of the South. We'll be right back with a sports update, and Moose will be back in here, too. You're watching the RP Show Tuesday morning get-together. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues after this on Game Plus TV.
You need to adapt and you need to move forward. You can't be stuck in 1920. Direct West is on the top of their game. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when you work with Direct West, things are good. There's no going backwards, they're moving forward. My business would not be where it is today without the help of Direct West to help me with my website and my Facebook and all my online presence. I've worked with Direct West for about 10 years, and it's been a great experience.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Moose DuPont just joining us on the set here late. Hop on in. Sports update. There you go. Look at that.
I was doing arts and crafts. Here.
What's that?
It's for you.
Okay. Shea Weber's goal held up as the game winner as the Montreal Canadiens beat the Oilers 3-1 in Edmonton last night. Goalie Jake Allen made 25 saves in his debut for the Canadiens, who also trounced the Oilers 5-1 on Saturday. It was funny last night. If you're going back and forth on Twitter, somebody late in the game mentioned shutout for Jake Allen, and then they got scored on, and then that guy got trounced for tweeting about it. Come on.
Yeah, it was his fault.
You didn't cost the shutout. Stop it. I know it's fun to talk about and everything. There's no announcers jinx. You can't jinx a shutout. You just can't. Jacob Markstrom has back-to-back victories against his former team. Johnny Gaudreau had a goal and a helper, and Markstrom made 25 saves as the Flames beat the Vancouver Canucks 5-2 in Calgary. I feel like 5 days into the regular season, we've learned nothing about anybody other than the Oilers are a hot mess. Other than that, we don't know anything about anybody.
That's right.
Well, the Leafs, Mitch Marner scored twice, and the Maple Leafs beat the Jets 3-1 at Scotiabank Arena. Johnny Tavares also scored, and Frederick Anderson made 27 saves. So Toronto's number one. We know that.
Yeah.
And the Jets were minus Patrick Laine. They're at Ottawa tonight, and I can't imagine Laine's going to play. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I haven't
Maybe
looked today.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
And the long wait to learn who will represent Alberta at the National Curling Championship is over. The decision provided some clarity on the wild card front, too. Reigning Alberta champions Laura Walker and Brendan Botcher will wear provincial colors once again. Sixth-ranked Kevin Cooey of Alberta will get one of the two wild card spots based on the final 2020 domestic rankings. Fifth-ranked Mike McEwen of Manitoba gets the other. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, Regina's newest entertainment destination, located in the heart of the Dudney Strip. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Jennifer Illingworth says another stellar performance by the Edmonton Pee Wee C Oilers. Man, we suck. Agreed.
I was thinking, they're playing? I thought they weren't allowed to play.
Yeah, the Pee-wees?
Yeah.
Roger Yee in Calgary says, morning, Rod Squad. Have a great day. Thank you, Roger. You too. And from Todd Pinckney, Carolina-Nashville game postponed tonight due to COVID as per Pierre LeBrun. Text line, Prairie Mobile text line from Brian in Curtis, Ontario. I listened to your show on Spotify. I'm behind a few shows, but I was listening to hour 1 from Thursday. I was hearing about how your sticker should be on NHL refs or WHL team helmets. What about having the RP Show sticker on the Edmonton Elks helmet? What do you think? What happens first? A CFL team in Halifax, Bo Levi appears on this show, or RP Show stickers are on helmets of any team? Yeah, and your mind just kicked into overdrive.
I know.
Thanks for listening all the way out in Curtis, Ontario, which incidentally is the home of Ricky Foley.
Wow, good.
So, Clark, we're having some fun with this. He edited it down. This is NFL Network's Will Blackman on our good friend Julie Stewart-Binks' show, Drinks with Binks. I was with the Rough Riders when Will Blackman came through. We all remember he was a pretty big name. He'd won a Super Bowl. He only lasted one game, got hurt, and that was the end of it. This was him about his Saskatchewan experience with JSP.
It is the Green Bay of Canada. It's the exact same thing. It smelled like farm and manure. Everything was flat. They had all chain restaurants, and they loved their football team, who was also green. So that's exactly what I said.
That's great. And it's just a little bit different. That's all. But hey, still the same passion. It's like great insane passion there, right?
Yeah. So sold out every game. Everybody's super nice. If you play for the Rough Riders, they love you. So it was cool. People were really nice in Canada. The people were nice. The coaches weren't nice.
Well, that is a tale for another time, I believe.
Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, JSB, for sending that to us from New York this morning. Sent her a note, and she sent it to us promptly. So people, I saw the clip, and I was not offended. And then 3 Down Nation turned it into a thing that maybe that the rider coaches should be offended or we should be offended, being from Saskatchewan. It is flat. It does smell like manure and farm. And we do love the football team. So if it's true, is it really trolling? Is it really trolling?
We made the choice to be like this. That's how we are day in and day out, right? It's our charm.
Yeah.
What do we say? Lean into that.
Well, I just say, if it's true, how can you get mad?
Yeah.
And it reminds me of when I stepped off the plane in Austin, Texas, and Houston, both times last year. I know that smell. The ranchers will say, that's the smell of money.
Smells like home.
Smells like home. Texas. I mean, I've never been to Wisconsin, and while I'd like to go, I would only go for free. I'm not sure I would pay to go.
Yeah.
Maybe we smell like Wisconsin, but I damn sure know we smell like Texas, and I'm okay with it because I was raised with it. I'll say this. The first time I went to Dallas, I'm looking around, going from the airport to downtown, going, this looks like Swift Current. Because there's a little more rolling hills around Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, again, smells like manure and farm, flat everywhere, and they love their team. What's there to get mad about?
And they only got chain restaurants. That is changing a little bit.
Yeah. We'll have some fun and be back with more and viewer takeover. And Jermaine Franklin coming up, too. It's the RP Show you're watching on Game Plus Television, live on YouTube daily, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now. Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody, to Viewer Takeover. Who is the gentleman from Winnipeg that just checked in? Kenny Rychuk says, good morning from Winnipeg. Good morning, Kenny. I was telling my wife last night, there he is. Good morning from Winnipeg. Rod and crew, hope you enjoy your day. Same to you, sir. My crowning achievement of this section of my life will be when somebody walks into Capital Ford in Winnipeg and buys a car because they are a fan of the RP Show.
Yeah.
That will be my yes. Right? We're leaning into the Winnipeg thing.
Yeah.
So Darren said he was doing arts and crafts while we were interviewing Stevie Beggs. I didn't know what this was. I opened it up. It's a Toronto Raptors program. And I thought it was some sort of fun thing like when I said, who are these guys?
Yeah.
But this is their actual roster.
Oh, yeah.
And you made the actual comment off air. You're like, it took me 2 minutes to make this, and teams don't even do it.
They don't.
So what did you say?
Teams don't want to do it anymore, but yet I put it together in 2 minutes. So it's got a logo on it. It's not what I would sell at a game day, but I mean,
it's not the point.
If I put an hour into it, it would.
It's not the point. What do you need? You need one sheet of paper, which is another reason why I can't work in sports anymore. Because I back in the day when I used to sit in the meetings with the marketing guys and the communications guys and gals, and I'm like, why don't we have a damn program? Like, where'd the programs go? And a guy would look at me and say, our sponsors aren't dying to be in our print materials. It's not about sponsors. It's about fan service. Give them a program. And it's not just the teams that I worked with. I was at a Leafs game, Scotiabank Arena, when it was Air Canada Centre, and I'm going all around the concourse. Can't remember who I was with. I go up to customer service.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, where's the programs? We haven't sold programs in 5 years, bro. But we can get you a picture of your first Leafs game if you want. You know, where they put you in the frame?
Yeah.
Why? And furthermore, down the line of those meetings I had with teams, it's all on the phone. You can download it on your phone. Well, if the people would get out of their ivory towers and go down and actually sit in the crowd where the Wi-Fi's slow, and I'm not going to go and try and go to each team's website and have both windows open, why can't you just print off a damn program? Is it that hard?
Yeah.
I was at a Florida Panthers game in Sunrise, Florida. We were sitting in the preferred seating. We'd paid for the tickets to get in there, but they had a stack of game notes right beside the metal detector, the gun detector. So as you're walking in, what? 40 pages of game notes? I spent the first period reading.
I know.
In between roast beef from the buffet. I came back here, and I said to the Pats, I wasn't even working for them yet, you got to give game notes to at least your suite holders, man. They're doing it in Florida. Nobody's asked for it. Because they don't know it's a thing.
Yeah.
Or am I completely out of touch? Maybe that's what it is.
No, it's the personal touch. It's that above and beyond. The, unexpected. In our business, it's funny. And this comes back down to, I got this lesson from Peter Labardius when we were doing Western Hockey League games together on television. And we'd show up at the morning skate. We'd be like the only ones at the skate.
Yep.
The game day skate with a coffee. And then all of a sudden the coach would come over and we'd have this great 20-minute conversation and get all this inside info. And he said, people notice when you show up when you're not expected to.
Lou said that?
Yeah. And it stuck with me. And it's the same thing with this. The fans will appreciate things that aren't expected. These little extras that aren't expected.
Right.
And they're not going to ask for it because they don't even know it's a thing.
That's my point.
But they'll appreciate it.
And I'm tired of fighting with these guys because there's more of them than me.
I know.
I'm the dinosaur and I'm losing. William May says, programs I miss, especially when the CFL had them at their games. Don Mitchell says, it's online. It's online is the response of the lazy and the unimaginative. Colin in Ottawa, I do miss the old paper programs we got when we got to the Sens games. Glossy paper with players' birthplaces. Oh, you wouldn't want to actually let the fans know about your players. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, and by the way, not every team's that way. A lot of teams do programs, but a lot of teams don't. Joe Lazito on Long Island says, I love this topic, Rod. I treasure the old programs, yearbooks, guides, and game notes that I've saved over the years. We're going to continue the fun over into hour 2 when we go to national television on Game Plus, everybody. Jermaine Franklin's going to be with us. And more of what you just sat through for an hour. See you on Game Plus after this break. No laughing on the sponsors, Coach. This is the media. We're not supposed to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Now,
ta-da! I'm living proof, baby. Miracles happen.
How about that?
You laugh, Alan, but Google's bailed me out of a lot of things. I'm telling you, I had muscle cramps. It said eat walnuts, almonds, and bananas. I've been eating them like crazy. No cramps. Who needs doctors when you got Google?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. It's episode number 403 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. RP here, Darren Moose DuPont there. How you doing, Moose?
Couldn't be better. On top of the world.
You were pointing something out. What
Gary's comment.
Gary in Winnipeg's watching, and he says, welcome. Where's my bell? Welcome to viewers on the Game Plus Network. 13 days until 2 hours on the RP Show. Liked and shared from Winnipeg. Thank you so much. And one more. William May, a viewer, says, Rod, when you get that sports holiday down south, I would love to be on that gravy train. Well, we were supposed to be in Miami, Florida in 2020, and COVID took care of that. We don't have any plans yet for 2021.
No,
right?
But we're starting.
Yeah, and don't let me get derailed. My mind's on a track here. I just want to point out that everybody refers to Moose as my sidekick, and he's actually the owner of the show. So I just want to point that out. I did it an hour ago. You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I said thank you an hour one.
And people are, well, yeah, but it's all new.
I know, that's right.
It's hour one on Game Plus. So we had Stevie Baggs with us, NFL, CFL veteran in hour one, the star of season 3 of Cobra Kai. He was with us an hour ago. And as Gary in Winnipeg's pointed out, in 12 days, you're not going to have to worry about us saying hour 1, hour 2, because both hours are going to be on Game Plus. And you'll get all the best guests and all the best sports talk, and you won't have missed anything right?
Yeah.
And same thing here this hour. Jermaine Franklin joins us from TSN, a longtime friend of ours. Oh, Prairie Mobile Communications is watching. Shay, he says, a sponsor's couch? Maybe one day Prairie Mobile will get an invite to it.
It's an open invitation, but we should, once we can get people back in here on a regular basis.
Yeah, COVID killed it.
It did.
COVID killed the sponsor's couch. So enter at your own peril. Anyways, I had a little rant at the end of hour one. I'll save it here for a little later on in the warm-up. That's the segment we're in here for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons. You're home for the NFL. Let's get into the quick six show topics, please, Director Jordan, because I feel people are punchy today. The comments are not in a bad way, but they're excited.
Yeah.
Right? They're in a good mood today. So let's start with point one, and that is Monday NHL Leftovers. Now, I tweeted these. You can go to my Twitter account, and I would love it if you did, at Rod Pedersen Show. But for those that didn't see it, I'll say it now. On Monday, the Leafs beat the Winnipeg Jets 3-1 in a game. It wasn't good, other than your Leafs won, but the game was boring. It's nobody's fault. It's my fault for raising my expectations so high that this was Ali Frazier. And it wasn't that. It was. It's not even a week into the regular season, okay?
Yeah.
So, anyways, the Leafs won. They're number one in Canada. They're very cocky, led by Mitch Marner. And that's fine. And that's upset Leaf fans, particularly producer Clark. I'm really just trolling, but I got the reaction I wanted. He's all upset at me. He's barking at me on Twitter. He's one of those guys. What else? The Habs beat the Oilers 3-1. After Saturday's Oilers lost to Montreal, Terry Jones of the Edmonton Sun wrote that it's panic time. So what now? You're 1-3. You are, like Tom Cochran, sinking like the sunset. And at what point do you scrap it all? It's led to the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, and we didn't spend as much time on this as we should have in hour one. Will Conor Mcdavid ask for a trade? Yes, no, or he should. 1 hour ago, the vast majority was saying no, and that's held up here in hour two. No. And does that not tell you the difference between Canadian hockey players and American football players? You know, when we talk about Deshaun Watson, I want out. I don't like the direction of the team. I don't like where we're going. I want out. Same with Leonard Fournette and Jalen Ramsey and James Harden. It's not just football. But here's McDavid just crawling through the muck and the slime and the sledge in Edmonton for how many years? This is year 6 now?
Mm-hmm.
And Clark says 5. I thought it was 6. They were talking about it on the broadcast last night, and he hasn't once given you any indication that he wants out.
No.
But it might be getting to the time.
That's what you want out of your leader, somebody who's going to stick with it. That's going to, I feel like the fan base and the team isn't a real likable one yet, but they're on their way. If they go through this and Connor McDavid sticks and Draisaitl sticks and they find their way, they could get back to being the lovable Oilers from 2006. The hardworking, paid their dues, and the whole country just wants them to catch a break and win Oilers. They're not there yet, but if Connor starts stomping his feet, which he's shown no signs of wanting to do, but if he does, that's going to be a bad look. So I like that he's not talking about it, but man, you just got to feel for the guy. When you're the best in the world at what you do, he should be rewarded with some sort of, competency around him.
I was right. It's year 6. I'll take apologies. Sorry. Larry in Medicine Hat says the sun doesn't sink, the earth rotates. You're not familiar with Tom Cochran, Sinking Like a Sunset, Life is a Highway? Go buy it at Sam the Record Man. I said people are feeling punchy. They're feeling cocky. They're getting in my face.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, the Golden Knights. Wait till they start playing 60 minutes. Like last night, it's 2-0 late in the second period for the Arizona Coyotes at Vegas. I'm like, okay, Knights, turn it on anytime. I'd like to go to bed. And they did in 1-4-2, and the Golden Knights are now 3-0. Here's the difference between the Oilers and the Golden Knights is when the Oilers are down 2-0, it's over. What a terrible indictment of your hockey team that everybody knows you're not going to fight back.
Yeah.
So there is panic in Edmonton, and for good reason. And that's about it, other than Semyon Varlamov's got back-to-back shutouts for the Islanders. I think he's the first Islanders goalie in franchise history to open the season with 2 consecutive shutouts, 14th in NHL history. So we're paying attention to what's going on down in there in Long Island, Joe Lazito.
Yeah.
We are, even though we're here in the Bermuda Triangle where we live in the sweatpants capital. Tonight, point 2, there are 8 games in the National Hockey League, and the biggest one is Winnipeg at Ottawa, as far as we're concerned. See if the Jets can get back on track, because last night they just looked disinterested. The Leafs wanted it more than Winnipeg last night, and that is not a good trait to have. Viewer William May says the best part of your show is Friday for football talk. Well, then you'll be happy here. Point 3, Brady versus Rodgers in Sunday's NFC Championship game. Green Bay's favored by 4. We kicked it around an hour ago. I probably won't go as deep here as we did an hour ago, but that's not a whopping line. But it is a conference championship game, and let's be honest with you. Tom Brady's already a winner. We can look at that like that. He can't.
No.
Right? But who would have thought they'd have got this far? I didn't even think they would get this far.
I know. And the stat that came up this morning as I'm listening to the radio online, it was that Tom Brady has now reached a conference championship as a starting quarterback in 3 different decades.
Wow.
Like, unbelievable. Those words should never be spoken. So it's pretty unbelievable. But no matter what happens, there's a lot of talk that, this might, put Rodgers in the conversation for the greatest of all time. It's not going to. He's only 37, right? Brady's older. He's been around long. Rodgers has a little bit more to prove, but this is going to be one for the ages. It really will be. It might not be one of the greatest games of all time, but anytime you have 2 legends going against each other, just even like last weekend, I know it wasn't the best display of football, but it was still an amazing game between Brady and Drew Brees. It's going to be great again.
Oh, Sunday. Get out your Tostitos, your Doritos, anything with the toes, Cheetos.
Oh, yeah.
And get ready for it. And then point 4, Patrick Mahomes' status. If I'm Andy Reid, I'm stretching this out all week. As of right now, they haven't announced it, right?
Right.
So we don't know, but Patrick Mahomes is going to play. It's a conference championship.
Yeah.
And KC is favored by 3. Point 5, should Charleston Hughes take a pay cut? Local radio station here, CJME, the Green Zone, had that as their poll question yesterday. And I thought, did we miss the boat? Should we have had that as our poll question? And then I thought, well, it may not pertain to our entire audience of what we do, but it's a bigger question here. In Winnipeg, you've now seen the biggest stars on the team. Adam Bighill, Zach Collaros, Willie Jefferson taking really big pay cuts in some cases. And now with the Riders, some really big names are being asked to do the same. Charleston Hughes, Ed Gainey, Solomon Elamimian. It's ugly. It's really ugly times in the CFL right now. In our morning meeting, I said, should we just not talk about it? Should we just move on and go NFL and NHL? Maybe bring on some CHL guys. We talked about Mark Hunter and Andre Tournier, right? Guys like that. Maybe we just don't want to talk about this because it's so ugly with all the pay cuts that are being taken. And the one viewer, Jack in Vulcan, Alberta, yesterday got quite animated. He's like, Charleston should be allowed to do whatever he wants. Nobody's saying he's not, dude. And as a matter of fact, with all these players that are wanting out, like Deshaun Watson and so forth, now more than ever, especially the pandemic has exposed this, you need to do what's best for you. Charleston Hughes does not owe the Saskatchewan Roughriders anything. He does not. You know that. I don't need to ask for your response because you know that. Do those Bombers owe Winnipeg anything? They don't either. But they want to be there because they're coming off a Grey Cup championship. And they believe in the future of the franchise moving ahead. Maybe these big-name riders do too. But the point is, if Charleston Hughes isn't being paid what he thinks he's worth, he doesn't owe it to anybody to take less money. That's where I stand on that. And as I said to you at the end of the show, I can't remember if it was off or on yesterday, I said, do you think they're slashing CFL salaries to the point that they could play without fans? Like they're just going to raise just enough money to pay these guys with the reduced wages that they can get to the field without fans. Your response was, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. You were like, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, all signs would point to that. And I did say, it's not the player's responsibility to pay for the debts of the team. So if
I don't remember you saying that, but that's good.
If you're only getting players to cut salaries so that you can make money to pay off debts from the past, it's not the player's responsibility to pay off your debts. But if it's, hey, look, this is going to make it easier for us to play with no fans, great. And if we get fans back in and we have more money back in, then maybe it's tied to bonuses that you can get paid back what you're worth. And so I hope that. And with Charleston, perhaps that they're asking him to take more of a pay cut than he's willing. I'm assuming knowing the guy that he's probably willing to take some sort of a pay cut. Everybody else is.
Who knows?
But maybe not. But maybe it's just, astronomical and way more than he feels that he needs to do or wants to do or is willing to do.
He can whittle it down to this. Charleston, what do you want to do? Where do you want to play? Because it isn't necessarily all about money. I would tell any young player to go back and watch the interview from hour one with Stevie Baggs, where he said it isn't about the money. If you're chasing money somewhere else, you will have made a mistake.
Yeah.
Is Charleston Hughes old enough to understand that? I think so. Do you feel valued in Saskatchewan? Do you like your role on this defense? I think the answer to all of those things would be yes. But that's Charleston's decision. If you have to hold your nose to sign this contract with a pay cut, you don't feel good about it, then don't do it. From Murray Fisher writes in, he says, boy, CFL players would almost have to play for free to allow the game to be played without fans. We don't know what's going on behind the curtain with the CFL. We literally don't. I've written it in my past couple of columns. I would hope they're coming up with creative ways of revenue generation, like selling the division names, ads on the uniforms, whatever the heck it takes. And I got to think that they are. So between a combination of the pay cuts and some new revenue streams, they probably will hit the field. And actually, we want the CFL to play. My gosh, we talk about it every day. Can you imagine if there were games and there was an actual race and we had fans from every team coming in here every day to talk about the games? Look, we want it. So it really is starting to look like they are going to play, but it's not going to be what we're used to for 2021. And then beyond that, who knows? Shall I move on?
Yeah, let's.
Point 6. The Raptors won 116-93 over the Dallas Mavericks last night. No, I wasn't watching. The NHL was on. Are you kidding me? Plus, the NFL Network was talking about this weekend's conference championships. But I did watch the highlights, and I watched the post-game interviews, and I'm saying, who the hell are these guys? What was the guy's name? Stanley Johnson, Clark? Stanley Johnson? Some newbie with the Raptors. So Darren actually in hour one made this program. And I went off on a lengthy rant near the end of hour one. What'd you say? Tell the viewers what you said.
I said, the teams don't want to put in the work to make programs anymore, and I pulled that off in 2 minutes.
I know. What it cost you?
It's not fancy.
What it cost you?
About 2.5 cents for the paper and ink, and 2 minutes of my time.
You're very good at this, by the way. I
appreciate it.
But listen, these are your Toronto Raptors. Paul Watson. Jalen Harris. The aforementioned Stanley Johnson, former Arizona Wildcat. Malachi Flynn from Halifax. The usual. Obviously, Kyle Lowry, Terrence Davis. Utah Wanatabby. He's a sophomore. Fred Van Vliet. We all know Fred, of course. They still have that core. Norman Powell. But there's a lot of Spicy P. But my rant was, why don't they make programs anymore? I don't understand it. I asked you to bring that out and put it on the coffee table. Hold that up, please. Explain what that is.
So this is the Houston Texans game day program.
From our last sports trip we went on.
Houston Texans game day.
Packed full of ads. Player bios, pictures. I mean, we could hang fans. How about that? Featured fans.
Cute,
let's honor our fans.
Pictures of all the executives. Note from the coach. Now, a lot of this stuff you only have to create once. I'm sure that letter from Bill O'Brien.
It's a collector's item now.
But I bet you that's in every single game day program, right? It's
anyways,
great stuff.
as I pointed out with my teams in the past, this is what I can't work in sports anymore. I said, why are we not handing out programs anymore? We don't even make them. Why are we not doing this? And I got the sponsors aren't dying to be in our print ads, Rod. It's dying. Why is it about the sponsors? Why can we not give the fans a damn lineup? What's the problem with that? But I'm the dinosaur, and it's not. It's all here, Rod. I get that all the time.
The point.
But when you're in an arena with crappy Wi-Fi, it's hard to download the programs. Why can you not run off 20,000 of these and hand them out at the door?
And the point of me grabbing this was literally that we were there over a year ago. This is still sitting on display here in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
In the back for our viewers.
Every day.
And people come back, they pick it up, they look through it. It's great.
Jeff in Winnipeg says, as much as I'm more of an NCAA NFL fan, we need the CFL back. And I will finish the warm-up by saying this. The CFL will play in 2021. All signs are pointing to that, and that's the best news you're going to get today. We'll be right back with Jermaine Franklin. You're watching the RP Show live across Canada in all 10 provinces and across America in 31 states on Game Plus TV, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. We do have breaking news today. It's come down the pipe on my TSN notification. Tonight's game between the Carolina Hurricanes and Nashville Predators has been postponed out of an abundance of caution, the NHL announced, obviously due to COVID reasons. And USA Today informing me the New York Mets thought they had the right person for the general manager position, but Jared Porter had to be fired. That came down today. So we'll get to that in a sports update. But let's go to Jermaine Franklin now from the TSN Sports Center desk. Well, from his home, but that's what he's doing now. Frankie, good day. Happy Tuesday. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Great to see you, Rod.
It is great to see you as always. And I have to say, you really look to be loving this latest chapter of your life and anchoring Sports Center. We all know what the previous chapter was. Has this been a great move for you, going to Toronto?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be on the desk since I was a teenager. And of course, you always dream of doing play-by-play as well. But that's later down the road, hopefully. I got to convince a few people to give me a shot at that as well. But this is exactly where I wanted to be. I don't want to say that I'm like, I don't want to act like I don't miss Calgary, because I do. I am an Ontario boy, but the West, I certainly have become a Western man since most of my adulthood was spent in Calgary. Both my kids were born there, but career-wise, there's no better place to be than on the desk for me right now with TSN, the best to ever do it.
Well, you always have home out here, as you know, and some of your best friends, of course, are out here. But I got to say this, man. You've got that depth of knowledge of Canadian sports fans. Here's why I say this. I'm watching Sports Center this morning. We're like 25 minutes in, no Golden Knights highlights. 35 minutes in, no Golden Knights highlights. Because I watch on my stationary bike. Right? They started NHL, then NBA, then NFL, then Martin Luther King. And I was like, hey, where's the Golden Knights highlights? You guys must put up with what people want all across the country, is my point. Everybody wants something else, right?
Oh, absolutely. And trust me, they're putting it up. They're putting up with me now because I walk into the newsroom / studio, and I'm like, why aren't the Flames leading? Like, let's go. Enough is enough. And it's always a tug of war and trying to figure out what's going to go first or who's going to go first. I shouldn't say it's a tug of war. We all know, unfortunately or fortunately for Leaf fans, because they are across the nation, the Leafs are always going to come up first. NFL has turned into a big, big dog as well, so we lead with them a lot. But those, like you said, the Vegas games, even San Jose's terrible now, but even when you think about the West Coast games that start late, we don't see them as much. But trust me, for everybody who's out there wondering, that we are fighting. We are fighting for the West to get on the show a little bit more, and in some cases, you'll see it because we fought so hard for it.
Well, thankfully, it is an hour, because eventually you're going to get around to those. Eventually you get to everything. It's just the order, right? And here's the other thing, because I know you're a huge NBA guy. We were having a little bit of a discussion earlier. Darren printed me off a Raptors program, because I don't know who these guys are, Frankie, that I'm watching in the highlight. I don't know who they are. So I'm like, should we just be happy that they won a championship a couple of years ago, and it might be another 25 years? Or are my expectations so low? Should they be a front runner in the NBA right now?
No, they shouldn't be a front runner, but they certainly should be. It's tough when you think about contender, because you always think they'll have a chance to win when you mention contender. So let's say the Raptors definitely should be a playoff team. They should make a little bit of noise. If they come together the way that we believe that they can, maybe they'll win a first round, probably not a second. But that's okay, because if you follow the Raptors a little bit, although their plans probably have changed since Antetokounmpo did sign a long-term deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, the Raptors saved a lot of their dough for this upcoming free agent class. Now, Antetokounmpo was to be the guy that they go for the most, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we'll see what the Raptors' plan is. we just saw James Harden move from Houston, get traded to Brooklyn. Now Brooklyn is the favorite, I'd have to say, in the East to go to the NBA Finals. Of course, the Milwaukee Bucks would have something to say for that. But when you consider the Raptors, the reason why I mentioned that, you said we could be happy with the championship they won a couple of years ago. Let's remember how that happened. It came out of the blue. Kawhi Leonard refused to go back to the San Antonio Spurs, said he wasn't going to play. Somehow Masai Ujiri worked his magic and did trade DeRozan, who was he was the heart of the Raptors basketball team along with Kyle Lowry, but they traded DeRozan and they got Kawhi Leonard and then they won the championship. And that is very possible that that's going to happen with Brooklyn. Now that they're healthy, when Kyrie Irving comes back, they could possibly win a championship because they got a disgruntled James Harden and they already have Durant and Kyrie Irving. So the Raptors, perhaps down the road, they're going to find a disgruntled superstar who's ready to win with someone else. And the Raptors, with their pedigree and with their history, could win a championship again in a funny but weird way.
Yeah, I said, what a blueprint to success. And Frankie, by the way, the secret sauce of this show, as you know, is the viewer interaction. And Larry in Medicine Hat is watching, and he says the best Jermaine Franklin sideline interview was with BC Lions Solomon Elamimian. That came up in the top 10 the other night. I don't know if you were on the desk or not. It was like top 10 awkward sideline interview moments.
Yeah.
What was your side of that? What do you remember about that? And for those that don't know, Solomon Elamimian yipping at one of the Stampeders in Calgary. Tell us the story, Jermaine.
So, of course, we got Solomon Elamimian for our halftime interview, and it was very rare. Let me say this because, as you know, Rod, the Stampeders rarely are losing at halftime, and it's usually 99% of the time it's the winning team who gets interviewed going into halftime. This time, the BC Lions, they have the lead, and Solomon Elamimian, we're about to interview him. Fred Bennett starts chirping Elamimian from behind, and Elamimian's like, who are you? Who are you? I don't even know who you are, you know? And then he kept on, and they were chirping back and forth. Of course, you see me looking back and forth. Fred Bennett is not in the picture, so nobody knows who Solly is yelling at. And then all of a sudden, right out of the blue, he just goes, "What's up?" just to start the interview. And it's like, okay, I'm back. Okay, because it was like I didn't exist for about 30 to 40 seconds there. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "All right, let's go."
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I was watching it live at the time, of course, and then the highlight, and that just you're like a traffic cop is what you look like. But, you know, I haven't talked to you about this, but I talked to Sarah Orlesky about this, and I've done sideline reporting. That was the first thing I ever did in the CFL. I interviewed John Candy in 1991, Riders Argos at Taylor Field. Cool. Hardest job to do, I believe, in this business. It's not easy. You know, and what people think that it is. But, Jermaine, what are the hard parts of that?
The hard parts for me, especially early on in my career, it was being able to organize my thoughts quickly, succinctly, and then make sure you could spit it out in 30 to 45 seconds because the next play is coming. And that was the toughest part. And then, of course, you have no idea what your interview subject is thinking or what mood they're in. And I've been blown off a few times. I've had answers that are like, what is going on? Did he even hear my question? But yeah, there's so many moving parts when you're a sideline reporter, and you got to keep an eye on the play, of course, so you know what's going on. But of course, you got to keep an eye on what's going on the sidelines. Injuries, whether there's arguments between players and coaches. And the crazy thing is out west is the teams are not on the same sideline. If you go most of out east, like the Tim Box or whatever it's called, Tim Hortons Field, the teams are on the same sideline. Same with BMO Field. But when you're in McMahon, you got to run back and forth it's 80 yards wide. You got to run around the field to get both sidelines. It's crazy, but it keeps you in shape. And those are some of the crazy things that I had to adjust to first.
I know. Foremost. That's why I wanted you to say it, because people wouldn't understand. It's stressful. And I did it for a couple of years, and I'm like, this isn't for me. Find me something else. I don't like it. Because, of course, those trainers are looking at you like, what are you looking at? What are you going to report? All of that. I'm like, this is just not for me. Are you going to get out and do any sidelines, by the way, because you have a vast experience at it, or are you going to stay primped and on the desk and not have to go out on the front lines anymore?
Well, I'm a poodle now, so I'm going to be primped and whatever. But honestly, whenever they need or whatever they need out here, I will definitely help with the sidelines if they need it. And I told them that as well, because like you said, it's not an easy job. Matthew Shinetti has been doing an outstanding job of it out at East, but it's almost like he's been alone for a little while. So he might need a little tag team action, need a little help in Ottawa or Toronto or Hamilton one of these weekends. Hopefully, if we get everything under control. Can't forget the world we're in right now. But if you look optimistically and positively, let's have a season this year, and I'll be more than willing to help. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, we would like to see on the sidelines again for sure. And my bold prediction today is that they will be playing in 2021. They're going to find a way, but it's not going to be with fans, obviously. Lastly, Jermaine, we're not even a week into the NHL regular season. It's been awesome. Kind of feels like it's been going for a month, though, because people have already made their generalizations on the teams, right? Oilers are done. Leafs are number one. The usual. What's been your take on the first 5-6 nights?
I think it's been great because we've been seeing more goals. And of course, with that special interest, keeping an eye on the Flames from afar. I like the moves that they made, and you're starting to see them shape into the team that Brad Treliving probably wanted them to be, just a little bit more each year. So, of course, Markstrom, the goaltending is the key, and he has been outstanding in their wins. No surprise that he came up big against his former team who wouldn't pay him, and they're going to pay for that in Vancouver for sure. And, of course, Tanev, another Canuck who comes over. TJ Brody is gone, and he looks okay with the Leafs. He's had a rough game and an average game, but Brody, I know him, covering him for so many years. He's going to be very good for the blue and white. But that being said, back to my original point, Tanev now with the Flames, he adds that element of grit that perhaps was not naturally there on the blue line. And I think that's going to be a big step forward, especially with Elias Lindholm now at center ice. They have a number one that they can truly trust, who can play on both ends of the rink. That's not to be a shot at Sean Monahan, but he's just not that talented when it comes to that grit element and playing in his own defensive zone. So now Elias Lindholm looks like he's spelled that off full time as a number one centerman who can do it all. And I think the Flames are going to look really good. And NHL overall, it's great to see. I am not sad to see Edmonton struggle a little bit. Go Canadians as they swept them out. Yeah, I'm excited. The NHL is back. Like, let's go, Rod.
And we are going. And I say every single night's like a heavyweight bout, prize fight until the next night. Tonight it's Jets Ottawa. Last night it was Jets Leaf, Oilers Habs, Flames Canucks. It's awesome. I cannot get enough. Well, Frankie, this has been awesome. I tell you what, we had some side-splitting moments here. Doesn't it feel good to laugh? Like physically good?
Oh, absolutely. It's the best medicine. It is the best medicine to laugh, smile, and talk to people that you like, respect, and know. And I appreciate you having me on the show for sure.
As always, and thanks for the kind words about the show, Jermaine. They've got back to me. I appreciate it. So we're watching every day, as you know. Stay safe, and until the next time, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Jermaine Franklin joining us from Calgary, now of the TSN Sports Center desk. But man, see, you're seeing the Jermaine you wouldn't normally see there, right?
That's what's so great about having these conversations.
Right. Just going deep on the Flames, and he's obviously always going to be a dyed-in-the-wool Flames fan.
How come we're not leading with the Flames coverage?
That's probably what he's saying in there, right?
That's what he said. Leafs again, we should be leading with the Flames.
Well,
he's Western Canada's voice in that newsroom.
He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
He gets it. Yeah. Well, I think it's a nice compliment. They're doing their thing with their Leafs and Raptors, and we're out here in Western Canada talking about the Western teams, and it's a nice mix.
Yeah.
But it would be sad if Jermaine Franklin was not on a CFL sideline somewhere and soon.
Yeah.
You know. So.
I know, and he'll be itching to get out of the desk eventually, just to get on the side, stretch the legs a little bit, a game here, game there, and he'll be willing. He'll be like, "Hey, send me there, send me to this game. I'm ready to go." So I'm sure he'll do a game here and there. I would love to see it anyway because we love seeing him on those games.
I'm just going to chip in with a couple of Prairie Mobile text messages from our viewers, and then we'll break and come back with a sports update and more of this. Metal Shingle Guy writes in from the 306, a CFL comment. He says, when Zach Evans walked, must have been about the same type of pay cut they're offering Charleston Hughes. Take the pay cut and get a signing bonus up front. 2021 ain't happening, boys. Well, if it were just that easy, right? I don't think they're handing out signing bonuses. Money is at an absolute premium, more than it's ever been in the CFL right now.
Yeah.
You make a good point. Zach Evans was not willing to take that pay cut, and he did walk. Last we heard, he has not signed with another team, right? Maybe he's just waiting. From Jer, from the 306, he writes in all caps, The Rod Pedersen Show. Belated congratulations to you and the crew on your 400th show. Looking forward to 500 plus. Thanks. Always a good listen and thoroughly enjoyed. Those are just a small sampling. Those are just the shrimp cocktail of the larger text messages that have come in.
Yeah.
And we'll get to more of them after the break and a sports update coming up. 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel Mobility Center. We'll be right back. You're watching the program on Game Plus television across 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
You need to adapt and you need to move forward. You can't be stuck in 1920. Direct West is on the top of their game. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when you work with Direct West, things are good. There's no going backwards, they're moving forward. My business would not be where it is today without the help of Direct West to help me with my website and my Facebook and all my online presence. I've worked with Direct West for about 10 years, and it's been a great experience.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Oh, I'm telling you, greatest job in the world right here. And I locked myself out of my laptop. Okay, while I'm getting back in, let's get to a clip of Will Blackman from the NFL Network, Super Bowl champion, former Saskatchewan Rough Rider. While we're talking CFL, he was on a show out of New York City this week with our good friend Julie Stewart-Binks, Drinks with Binks, and he took a perceived shot at the sweatpants capital here, the heartland of the Canadian Football League, Saskatchewan, the home of the Rough Riders, where Will Blackman played one game. I believe it was my last season of 2018. I remember when he came in, and I remember when he got hurt in his first game and never played again. This is what Will Blackman of the NFL Network said with Julie Stewart-Binks.
People know what it's like up there. They haven't been there. They just hear of this city that rhymes with a body part. What were your initial thoughts of just like being there?
I got off the plane and I was like, wow, I'm in Green Bay. That is the Green Bay of Canada. It's the exact same thing. It smelled like farm and manure. Everything was flat. They had all chain restaurants and they loved their football team, who was also green. So that's exactly what I said.
That's great. And it's just a little bit different. That's all. But hey, still the same passion. It's like great insane passion there, right?
Yeah. So sold out every game. Everybody's super nice. If you play for the Rough Riders, they love you. So it was cool. People were really nice in Canada. The people were nice. The coaches weren't nice.
Well, that is a tale for another time, I believe. I gotta ask you, not a lot of...
Thank you, Julie, for sending that to us, and Will Blackman for being so candid. And maybe the shot at the end of the coaches is something that you could peek into later at another time. But as far as flat everywhere, stadium sold out every game, smells like manure and farm, yeah, that's what it is. I don't think he meant it as a shot.
No.
I don't. He might have meant it as a compliment. Green Bay, I guess. I've never been to Green Bay, but I've been to Texas many times. And I remember stepping off the plane in Austin, Texas last year going, I know that smell. That's the smell of agriculture and what we would call the smell of money. So 3downnation.com turned that into that it was a slam of Saskatchewan. Even Will Blackman didn't feel that it was. He responded to the tweet. But again, if you're telling the truth, is it really trolling?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not offended.
You're pointing it out, right? I mean, look you're signing with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. You're not signing in LA or New York or Miami or any of these big cities or Dallas. You're signing in Green Bay, Lambeau Field. You're signing in Saskatchewan, in Regina. You know, you get what you get. That's what we're all about.
From Blake Brown, one of our viewers, I'll take that. I grew up on a farm. He's not wrong. Yeah, it's in the air.
You know when you go to grandma's house, it smells like grandma's house, right? This is Saskatchewan, smells like home.
From Randolph Zora, he says, obviously he's talking about Coach Jones. And as it turns out, he was. But that's between them. That's between them. And it's funny, I'm quite enjoying watching Yellowstone because my wife's getting a little bit of an education on how I grew up watching that show and the ranch. Like when I say that I have a series of cattle calls, she couldn't even believe that. I have several.
Do you still have the video of you talking to the cows?
This was funny. Went to my cousin's house to play on their skate on their dugout last year. It was a row of 20 cattle eating, and I started, and all their heads popped up.
Yep.
Did you know that?
Oh yeah,
I know. It's so much fun. Sports update. Jared Porter went from rising star to unemployed literally overnight. Just more than a month after joining the New York Mets as general manager, Porter was fired this morning for sending sexually explicit, uninvited text messages and images to a female reporter in 2016 when he was working for the Chicago Cubs in their front office. The Montreal Canadiens earned 5 of a possible 6 points on their 3-game road trip to begin the season after Monday's 3-1 win against the Oilers. And Johnny Gaudreau had a goal and a helper to help the Calgary Flames to a 5-2 home win over the Vancouver Canucks. The Winnipeg Jets play their second game in as many days tonight when they face the Ottawa Senators in Ottawa. It's Winnipeg's first of 3 in a row against the Senators following last night's 3-1 loss against the Leafs. The Raptors appear to have shaken off some early season rust. Kyle Lowry had 23 points and Chris Boucher scored 21 off the bench as the Raptors beat the Dallas Mavericks 116-93. There are only 2 games on today's NBA slate. Canada's Jamal Murray and his Denver Nuggets host the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Utah Jazz welcome the New Orleans Pelicans. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, corner of Rochdale and Pasqua, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G Protein Bars, now with 8 amazing flavors. Order yours at g2gbars.ca. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. We're going to break and come back with a very fun overtime segment and viewer takeover. Stick with us. It's the RP Show you're watching on Game Plus TV Network. Live daily on YouTube and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait, do it right now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live. You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'm loving it. John Schmidt writes in, biggest Habs fan here and in the sweatpants capital, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of Habs fans here, but he says they're the best Canadian team out of the 7. We're not even a week into the regular season, so just hold on. Although that could be a good face-off for the Ultimate Fan Zone, which is the best Canadian team.
Sure could.
And the Mad Greek. But hang on, guys. Hang on. I just want to read some text messages from the viewers here from the 780. John in Edmonton says, Carolina and Nashville hockey game postponed due to safety for the players. Those hockey games should be easier, I would think, to make up than the football games when they're rescheduled.
Yeah.
It seemed like a bigger headache for the football.
Well, it was because you need time to prep and heal and all that kind of. You don't need as much time in between games.
DG in Saskatoon writes in, all right, dupes, let's get the review on Tiger. But you haven't watched it yet.
That's right.
The documentary on Crave on Tiger Woods. Can you put the camera on him? He's got a monologue here.
Well,
he wants to go on.
A monologue, but I just think that HBO and Crave and they dropped the ball. This doesn't happen very often, but completely dropped the ball on this because, one, I don't think anybody's watched Tiger. And I know we're going to get comments of people who say that they've watched it and how great it is. And I've seen it. Seen people say how great it is. But it came up with our friend Drew Koser, who put a poll up on his Twitter account.
Off the Hosel
podcast, who said, are you watching episode 2 of Tiger tonight? This was on Sunday when it was released. And I replied no, and I wanted to let him know. I was like, look, I haven't watched the first one. They dropped this right in the middle of the NFL playoffs on a Sunday, and right in the middle of the NHL getting started. So it's so far down the list. And, you know, when I say they dropped the ball on it, one, Tiger wasn't even involved in the documentary. So when you want to know, it was a quote I saw in a review, we'd love to know what Tiger was thinking in this moment, the announcer says. Yeah, we would too, because it's not even in the documentary what he's thinking in that moment.
You didn't interview him, yeah.
And the results are in the viewership. Just 700,000 people watched Tiger on the opening day it was released. Just to give a comparison, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, the first episode, had 17 million views or 15 million views of the opening episode to 700,000 of Tiger. So I just think they would have been a lot better to release it earlier, or if it wasn't finished, wait until we got into the, comfortable in the NHL and the Super Bowl was handed out. But they kind of dropped the ball on it. So I'm going to wait.
But as I said to you in the break, you can't plan a pandemic.
That's right.
And The Last Dance just happened to be the benefactor of splendiferous timing, similar to the Tiger King.
Yes.
Tiger King, Tiger, don't get confused.
Yeah.
John Kirby in Edmonton goes on to write in and says, the Oilers game was blacked out in Edmonton yesterday. I doubt that very much, but if that's true, consider yourself lucky. You didn't get to see the Oilers. They're not on TSN2. They're on Sportsnet, John.
And if it was the TSN feed, it's not. TSN does not have any Edmonton Oilers rights.
No, they don't.
They have Montreal Canadiens rights, so it would be available in the Canadiens region.
I watched it. I have photo proof of it, Rod. I'll take your word for it, John. I don't want an argument.
Yeah.
I watched the game with Jack Michaels and Louis DeBrusque, and I thought, I made a note of it for my weekend column, how talented that Louis DeBrusque is, that he's been partnered with 3 play-by-play guys in the last while. Chris Cuthbert, Jack Michaels and the new guy that had been doing Punjabi.
Yeah, Hannah Ryan.
Yamamoto!
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto! Yeah, sorry. That was ringing
amazing.
through my ears all weekend.
I know. It's such a great call. But yeah, like for a color guy, the cadence, the relationship, when to speak. Some don't want you to talk until the whistle. Some want you to talk during the play. Like he's doing the great dance over there.
He's taking it like a real pro.
Yeah.
Ryan Kowalik says, I watched it on Sportsnet. I don't doubt for a second, John, you were blacked out on TSN trying to watch the Habs. But again, Sportsnet had the Oilers broadcast.
Yeah.
Brady writes in, says, Romanov with his first career NHL goal. Shea Weber is 10th all-time in power play goals by a defenseman. He's good. He's good.
He banked that one in last night.
Yeah. So who is the best team in Canada? We're going to face off right now for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek. I'm just going to say this now. Ultimate Fan Zone. I need some Jets gear. I was watching the Jets game last night saying, I need some Jets gear. I don't have any. I think we need a road trip to Moose Jaw.
We could do that.
Billy.
Dry ribs and jet ski.
Do you have any Jets gear at the Ultimate Fan Zone? Because I need some. I'd prefer not to drive to Winnipeg if I don't have to. Moose Jaw's a lot closer. The funny thing is, however, when you climb in your vehicle here and you drive to Winnipeg to a Jets game, do you know what your GPS says?
No.
Turn right at Bell MTS Place in 507 miles. It's literally straight for 507 miles and then turn right.
Right to the
It'll
arena.
take you right to the rink. That is unbelievable. And that's enough of a ad there for the Ultimate Fan. So we're down to 90 seconds. And the Mad Greek, Moose Jaw.
It's a quick draw.
Authentic Greek cuisine available for licensed dining. Visit their website at madgreekeatery.com. You're going to say it's the Leafs.
I will. At one point in the second period, shots were 19-1 Toronto against Winnipeg in the period. They were 29-10 overall. But Winnipeg did such a great job locking down the middle, and Connor Hellebuck did his job. So the Leafs dominate like that, but they didn't get to any great scoring zones. So once they do, they're going to get better.
I'm going to take the backing of my team, and that's the viewers, the Rod Squad. Greg Klevgard says, it's Montreal. Got two good goalies, 1A, 1B. John Schmidt says, Roddy, the Habs are the best and deepest Canadian team. Feels a little like 1993.
The 1P, 1A, that's Price and Allen.
Gotcha. Whatever it is. Yeah, the typo worked.
It did.
So there's your face-off. I'm saying Montreal. He's saying Toronto. But in the back of my mind, I'm sticking with Calgary.
It's a good pick.
We're not even a week into the regular season.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we've got Rich Sutter, our NHL analyst, and from Hockey Night in Canada, Ron McLean. Great show today. Thanks to Stevie Baggs, Jermaine Franklin, and all of you. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central on Facebook Live and here at noon Eastern on Game Plus. I got balls.